avec les deux États à la clé. Et pour ce qui est du Liban, nous appelons aussi au cessez-le-feu.
All civilized countries should be standing firmly by Israel's side. Yet President Macron and some other Western leaders are now calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Shame on them.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الغر الميامين. يقول ربنا جل وعلا في محكم الكتاب: وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: المؤمن تحت ظل صدقته يوم القيامة. إخواني وأخواتي، هذه مائدة دعوة في قلب لندن في ليستر سكوير. نرجو منكم المساعدة حتى يتم إيصال الدعوة إلى أكبر فريق من الناس، فلا تحتقروا ما تدفعون. والله إن الجنيه الواحد لا يساعد كثيرا. ونريد أن نبشركم على أن قبل أسبوعين أسلم على يدينا 7 أشخاص، وقبل أسبوع شخصين. فلا تحقروا ما تعطون من الصدقات. بارك الله فيكم وأصلحكم الله وجزاكم الله خيرا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Before I go into the video, inshallah, we are here every Sunday and Friday at the Dawah table, inshallah. Please guys, whatever you can donate, it will help our Dawah table to continue. We're trying to raise funds for 9 months so we can carry on giving our Dawah. Let's get straight into the video. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Satan of our time, the Pharaoh of our time, has now lost his mind, and it's so much so he is now threatening Macron. I mean, out of everybody in that life, subhanAllah, can you imagine? It's like Abu Jahl threatening Abu Lahab, yes? And subhanAllah, brothers and sisters, we're going to watch the video now of his dismay. He's so upset and saddened that subhanAllah, that they have decided to put an embargo and try to stop the missiles or these weapons that they are selling to them. Now, it's very interesting because I want to know, why would Macron, of anyone for that matter, say such a thing? And we don't know. But what we know is Benjamin Netanyahu, after the statement, he bombed one of the petrol stations that is owned by the French government. But alhamdulillah, let's watch the video for ourselves, inshallah, and come back.
C'est le cas pour Gaza, ça a aussi été le cas pour le Liban la semaine dernière. Eh bien, nous tâchons de ne pas demander un cessez-le-feu tout en continuant à livrer les armes de la guerre. Et je pense que c'est simplement de la cohérence. Et donc, je vous confirme que, pour ma part, je considère qu'aujourd'hui, le cessez-le-feu à Gaza est une priorité pour permettre de reprendre les actions humanitaires à plein et permettre aussi de travailler à la solution politique qui seule assurera la paix et la sécurité pour tous, avec les deux États à la clé. Et pour ce qui est du Liban, nous appelons aussi au cessez-le-feu.
Macron. Today, Israel is defending itself on 7 fronts against the enemies of civilization. We're fighting in Gaza against Hamas, those savages who murdered, raped, beheaded, and burned our people on October 7th. We're fighting in Lebanon against Hezbollah, the most heavily armed terror organization in the world, which was planning an even greater massacre than October 7th on our northern border, and that has rocketed Israeli towns and cities for nearly a year. We're fighting against the Houthis in Yemen and the Shiite militias in Iraq and Syria that together have launched hundreds of drones and missile attacks against Israel. We're fighting against terrorists in Judea and Samaria who are trying to murder civilians in the heart of our cities. And we're fighting against Iran, which last week fired over 200 ballistic missiles directly at Israel, and which stands behind the 7-front war against Israel. I have a message for the forces of barbarism led by Iran. All civilized countries should be standing firmly by Israel's side. Yet President Macron and some other Western leaders are now calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Shame on them. Is Iran imposing an arms embargo on Hezbollah, on the Houthis, on Hamas, and on its other proxies? Of course not. The axis of terror stands together. But countries who supposedly oppose this terror axis call for an arms embargo on Israel. What a disgrace. Well, let me tell you this. Israel will win with or without their support. But their shame will continue long after the war is won. For in defending ourselves against this barbarism, Israel is defending civilizations against those who seek to impose a dark age of fanaticism on all of us. Rest assured, Israel will fight until the battle is the forces of barbarism led by Iran.
سمر
So guys, you saw that for yourself, subhanAllah. You heard what Macron had said. I mean, after everyone, you wouldn't expect Macron to come and say that, but at least, it shows, there's maybe some kind of hope for him. But this Satan has come, subhanAllah, and is shocked. He is shocked. Why? Because he thinks, subhanAllah, because this is the reason why we cannot put everybody in these categories. And of course, there's political gains and God knows for that reason. But alhamdulillah, majority, so much of non-Muslims around the world have been speaking up for Palestine. That is why it is such an important reminder for us, brothers and sisters, that we should not look at individuals in Islam and wherever it is. Our religion doesn't teach that we look at disbelievers the same. They're not. They are not the same. Allah even tells in the Quran when it comes to Christians. Yes? They are not the same. So for us, it's very important to understand that there are good individuals, there are Muslim, non-Muslims who are on the rooftops of Elbit systems, literally protesting, putting glue on their hands. How many Muslims do that? How many of us go and do what they're doing? So it shows there is goodness in them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide them to Islam. But subhanAllah, brothers and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala carry on exposing Israel, and I believe their end is coming. And a time will come where the Christians and the Muslims and the Jews will live under that banner of Palestine once again, inshallah. And surprisingly for you all as well, to see Macron telling the Western world to stop arming Israel is a big shock to the system. And to me, I was like, no way, but it is a reality. And that's the reason why Benjamin Netanyahu, the corrupt, vile Pharaoh individual of our time, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroy him in this life and in the hereafter, is losing his mind. The whole world is now seeing the reality of Israel with their own eyes. They are losing the battle when it comes to social media, people's perception, universities, all around the world. They are losing the battle against Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran. They are losing this battle on all grounds, and they have 10,000 Israeli soldiers have been either killed or wounded or disabled. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase them in this misery, inshallah, and humiliate them and give an end, and inshallah our brothers and sisters will be liberated. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.